random bundles or having a program, having a time-based program, frequency of visits. Let's move into a philosophy, and that is stereotyping clients. Are you judging what your clients can afford? Did you see that $2,750 and be like, whoa, who's going to spend that? You only need 8 people, and maybe they're going to spend half of that. But just the nature of the question, ooh, who's going to afford that? You're judging. You're judging based on your own experience. How do you know what they can afford? You have no idea. The nature of the question, if you were thinking, ooh, that's a lot of money, you're judging. You're judging your zip code. You're judging how serious you think your clients are about finishing a marathon. If they knew for sure that either they were going to get injured or they weren't going to get injured, and it was up to them getting massage regularly, how many of them would want to get massage regularly? Yeah, yeah. And so we need to be very careful of our own point of view of saying, well, I don't know if I'd ever spend $2,750 on a massage. On a massage. Maybe you should try it. My point is simply, we do not know what they can afford. We do not know how important this is to them. We do not know their story. Therefore, let's not judge them. Let's treat everyone as if they were royalty. We don't know whose husband or whose wife your client is. Let's just treat everyone as if they're royalty. Maybe your client walks in with their belt below their butt. You don't know. You don't know that they're not an Olympic hopeful. I've worked on many, many track and field athletes. In fact, after leaving Major League Soccer, uh, I worked with US Track and Field for, oh golly, for another 10 years or for 10 years. In fact, my athlete, Alan Webb, still holds the American record for the mile. Yeah, 3 minutes and 46 seconds, I think it was. I'll have to look that up. It's been a minute. Yeah. At 18 years old, my client broke the 4-minute mile, the first 18-year-old to do so, breaking a 25-year drought since anyone at the age of 18 had done that. I got to go to 2 world championships with US Track and Field. I went to Helsinki, Finland, and to Osaka, Japan. Yeah. And I will tell you, those track athletes look completely normal. They're not like big football players, right? Oh, look at me. Stereotyping. Big football players. Take a look. What do you know about this person? If she were to walk in your office, what would you think? Oh, how sweet, right? She looks artsy. Is that a unicorn on her t-shirt? Who knows? Anybody know who this is? How about this? Did you watch the Grammys? Chapel Roan. Yeah. Chapel Roan in 2023 at an interview, and Chapel at the 2025 Grammys, giving an amazing Grammy acceptance speech, encouraging the Academy to offer healthcare to musicians using her platform. I love it. If this person walks into your treatment room, or this person, Can we be neutral? Can we hold space? Can we treat everyone like royalty? Can we treat everyone with compassion? What about this dude walking down your hallway? What can you tell me about this dude? Tatted up? Yeah. Dreads? Might be mean. This is actually DeAndre Hopkins. He's a receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. Would you have guessed he was a professional football player? Yeah. You never know. You never know, never know, never know. And so we got to leave all of our judgment at the door to our office, the door to our treatment room, the door to our home. And as we greet people, we get to be curious. All right, what's going on for you? What motivates you to make an appointment today? Watch, because we don't know. My point is, we don't know their story. We don't know what they can afford. We don't know who they are. Yeah. And so let's leave that blank and show up as our best selves, ready to serve them in the best way. Don't judge a book by its cover, right? Here are some musicians. Yes, Lil Wayne. Got a little Maroon 5 here. And then, sorry, your name is escaping me right now. Um, but don't judge the book by its cover. Yeah. All right. You get it. And be very careful. It's easy to identify this type of stereotyping, right? Where people have an opinion. They go, oh, face tattoo, shit. It's a little rough. Apparently not anymore. Um, that stereotyping is easy to see. And maybe you've been stereotyped. Are you tall? Are you short? Are you wide? Are you narrow? I've had small therapists tell me that when they greet their client, sometimes their clients will be like, oh, great. You're not going to be able to do deep work. I need deep work. That's reversed, right? So just let it flow through you. Be like, I'll do the best I can. And we all know y'all can do deep work. And we also know that it's not the pressure you use, it's the spot you choose. Gonna say it again. It's not the pressure you use, it's the spot you choose that determines deep work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You give them one spot, that trigger point behind the shoulder, the sciatic notch, an elbow in the glute, or even just an attachment at the elbow. It's not the pressure you use, it's the spot you choose. So be careful as we talk about this stereotyping that we, as the therapist, are trying to put a belief system on somebody and we don't know where they come from. Okay, you get it. That's the philosophy. All right. So, stereotyping clients, let's move into our taking action. Reflective listening. What is that? What feedback are you offering in the treatment room? Are you silent? What did your teacher tell you? Oh, be quiet in the treatment room. Don't say anything. That's a good place to start. But let's dig a little deeper, shall we? Taking action over the next 2 weeks. Here are some things that you can do. First, let's revisit what reflective listening is. Reflective. It reflects what the person is saying. And to be honest, you can use this outside the treatment room. Just saying. But in the treatment room, if I hear what you're saying and you repeat what they said, or hold on, what I thought I heard you say is, and you repeat it, you are reflecting back to them what they said. Ladies, gentlemen, so few people listen. So few people listen. Part of it's because they can't hear. Some people just can't hear. But so few people really listen. In fact, people pay for talk therapy because so few people listen. Yeah. How do you want to show up in your treatment room? Do you want to show up as busy as, oh, my next person's coming? Oh, I got to get you on the table. Or do you want to show up as, so what's going on for you today? What are we working on? Yeah. To truly listen, ask a question, and then listen. It is remarkable. What a concept. How you doing? Here in America, that's a thing, right? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We're not actually asking, how you doing? We're using words. As a licensed massage therapist, we ask a question and then we listen. Actively listening. So we talked about reflective listening, right? We're gonna, if I hear what you're saying, hold on, I thought I heard you say that's reflective. You're being an active listener, reflecting what they said. But an active listening is sometimes quiet. It makes eye contact. Active listeners stay silent about 5 seconds longer than it's comfortable. If you're feeling like you should start talking, you're actively listening. If your client asks, did you hear me? Yes, I did. I'm thinking. I'm listening. I'm not sure you were done. Yeah. So I want to reintroduce you to active listening, to reflective listening. In fact, this is kind of a fun game to play, active listening. If you go to a networking event, if you go to a lunch, if you go to a Chamber of Commerce thing, here's a little game you can play. See how long you can ask questions or just listen before anybody asks you a question. Let me warn you, probably going to be the whole night. People are nervous at those things, and so they talk, right? But if you go in with a mission, in fact, that's the only way to go to a networking or to a luncheon. Go in with a mission. You better be clear on your mission. We'll talk about networking another time, but I'll give you that little hint. Know your mission. I want to meet Tom Brady from the PR run and walk store. I want to get introduced to that guy. I want to meet somebody who knows him. That's my mission. I want to get 3 new business cards from people who work at accounting firms. I want to meet accountants, or I want to meet someone who's in a building with an accounting firm. I want an introduction to an accounting firm. You're like, whoa, Jody, that's really specific. Yeah, it's really specific. Yeah, you got a mission. Because otherwise, it's just like floaty float, hand a card, take a card, take a card. Play a little game. Actively listen when you go to an event. Ask a person about themselves. So, what do you do? Where do you work? How long have you been a member of the chamber? How long have you been at this luncheon? How do you know the host? And then actively listen. People will find you the best conversationalist So silly. Active listening is quiet, makes eye contact, and stays silent for up to 5 seconds longer than is really comfortable, making sure that person was done their thought. All right, a little recap on what we've learned. Let's take a peek. Oh, one more thing before we recap. One more thing. How much do you talk in a session? So we reintroduced the idea of reflective listening, active listening, but how much do you talk once the session has begun? Just enough, right? I like to call it like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Remember that nursery rhyme or nursery story, the book, Goldilocks and the Three Bears? I like to check in about pressure, especially you have to if they're a first-time client. And I ask the Goldilocks question. Is the pressure too much, too little, or just right? Because remember Goldilocks, she tries the porridge. That one's too hot. That one's too cold. Ooh, that one's just right. Yeah. So on the pressure, too much, too little, just right. Your instructors may have told you, don't talk during the session. You have to talk during the session. I'm sorry. You are not building a relationship if you do not talk. Now, there are times where you talk for just a couple minutes and then they're out, right? And that's what they're there for that day. And that's cool. That's fine. But you need some feedback to customize your session. You do. Talk intentionally, not just sporadically. We're going to ask the question about pressure, the Goldilocks question, but we're also going to plant some seeds. You could say something like, your body's responding well. Or you could let them know, hey, I'm going to move on and the next time we work together. So key phrase here, next time we work together. So the next time we work together, was there something you'd like more of or less of? At the end of the session, you can ask that. Your client may say, am I the worst case you've ever seen? Be very careful about labeling people. Wow, this is the worst I've ever seen. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're in a position of authority. There's a power differential. What you say is going to land for them. And so don't give them any labels. If they ask you, is this the worst you've ever seen? Oh, I'm terrible shape. Well, there's some work to do, but we're making good progress. Positivity, right? We started our session today on positivity, about choosing to be positive. Yeah. So at the end of the session, I like to let clients know your body responded well. Oh my goodness. I went into, someplace I've never been. Yep. Yeah. That's a good relaxation response. And your body responded well to massage. And the next time we work together, I'd like to spend a little bit more time on that low back. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Painting the picture of the next time you work together. Yes. So talk intentionally, talk with a purpose, meaning you're checking in about pressure, you're offering client feedback, because silence is deadly. If that treatment room, if you have not offered any feedback during the treatment, your job is 10 times harder rebooking that client. Rebooking starts in the treatment room. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So talk intentionally. That is our taking action. So what have we covered? We've covered packages versus programs. Have both available. Have packages and programs available. Create those now before you get asked. Don't make it up on the fly. Hey, I'd like to buy a series. What do you have? Hold on just a moment. Set those up now, please. The programs and the packages. You've got a 6-month pro. If nothing else, you got a 6-month program for $27.50 for marathoners. Just review this recording. Once a week for 6 months gets you 25 sessions. Philosophy, the reflective listening, the active listening. We covered how to be an active listener using reflective listening, and we revisited the importance of listening. And then how are you going to take action over the next couple of weeks? You're going to be offering feedback during the session. Yes, the next time we work together. Your Goldilocks question. How's that pressure, sir? Would you like a little more? Or would you like a little less? Or is that about right? And when you ask the question, how's the pressure? Your client says, fine. Fine is the enemy. Oh, good? You trying to be good? You trying to be fine? Mm-mm. I'm looking for words like excellent, awesome, perfect. If they say fine, dig a little deeper. How's the pressure? Fine. Ooh, that's not fine. That's boring. Boring doesn't come back. So, okay, so the pressure's fine. Great. Would you like a little more? A little less? Or is that about right? I could do a little more. Now you're talking. Now you're getting some help in meeting the expectations of your clients. So taking action, offering feedback, having a conversation in the treatment room, appropriate conversation centered around body work. Do a roundtable discussion now with particular information, examples from your practice. So in our small group mentoring, we do these roundtables to get in and affect change. And maybe you could benefit from being a part of those round tables, being a part of this small group business mentoring. I invite you to click the link below, see the description of this group, and join us. If you are finding this information helpful, beneficial, you want to get it all, you want to be there, then please join us. My name again is Jody Scholes. I am your business mentor for your massage therapy practice. Hope you're having a great week, and we'll see you soon.